Welcome to setting up Google Ads conversion tracking in GTM server side. Alrighty, before we dive in, just a minute about who I am. I'm Manisha Mystery. I'm an instructor at measurementmarketing.io. As an instructor, I work with our dedicated measurement management clients. I help them develop reports they can take action on. I am actively supporting our clients and our members, and I love a good puzzle to solve. I love BigQuery Analytics, Canvas, and Looker Studio. So if you want to jam about those, hit me up. Alrighty, with any one of our videos, we have to remember one thing, especially when you're in the world of server side. Grab one thing today, go ride the bike, and then circle back and grab another one thing. Alrighty, let's dive into setting up Google Ads conversion tracking in GTM server side. Let's start. Alrighty, so here we are. We have GA4. We have our server container, and we have our browser container. Now, one of the points of confusion with Google Ads is when implementing Google Ads in your server container, do you need to keep your browser tags? And the answer is no. So what we've actually done here is we've looked for our Google Ads tags, we've selected them all and paused them. So now we know our browser container is not firing any conversions to Google Ads. Also TBV, just in case, that there's no Google Ads firing on the site hard-coded in any of the client's code. Now, once you've done that, you're going to hop into your server container. Now, when we set up Facebook's CAPI in server side, what we did was we used the GA4 client to tell us that a purchase has happened or a page view has happened, and then we told Facebook via this tag that basically, hey, this event has happened. So similarly, we are going to use the GA4 client and the event purchase to fire into Google Ads. So what you're going to do is close this, hop into here and go new. Hop into here and then look for Google Ads and then go conversion tracking. Now, the first thing you'll notice is Google does a really good job of saying, hey, you're missing the linker. So you just need to create the linker by clicking on the create button. Nothing needs to change here. Your trigger, unlike the other ones that were very specific on a client, you want your linker to fire on all pages. And then we're just going to name this GAds conversion linker and hit save. Alrighty, so now that that is saved, we need to populate some information in here. So we need a conversion ID and a conversion label. You'll need to go to your Google Ads account or ask your client to provide these. So we happen to have one handy here, so I'm just going to pop these in. If you don't have these, ask your client to create a conversion ID and conversion label in Google Ads. For conversion value, you can configure this. We're just going to use $1 for now. And then finally, the big thing you have to configure is the trigger, okay? And you're saying, well, when does this fire? So this specific conversion ID and label is for a purchase. So you're going to come in here and choose a trigger. And we're actually going to create a brand new trigger. Come here, I'm going to say custom event. And the event is purchase, lowercase p. We've seen it come through in previous topics. So we're going to name this CE, purchase, and go save. So give that a second. Okay, so we're saying fire, conversion ID, conversion label, value of $1. You can customize this using a variable. And then on purchase. So let's name this as GAds-conversion tracking. Sometimes I've seen some people, and I sometimes do this too, actually put the label in here. The ID, not so much because that's account-wide, but the label is helpful to be like, oh, okay, I know what this one's for in case it's valuable. Okay, hit save. Okay, so now we're going to fire up our server, hit preview. Come in here, preview. Now there's one thing tricky when testing Google Ads. When you're testing Google Ads, you need to add right after the question mark, before UTMs, but you're going to have your URL. Then it's question mark, G-click ID. Just put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever you want. I'm just going to do 4, 5, 6. And the reason we're doing this is that's the only way you will get it to actually send a request to the server. Without this in there, it's not sending it. So we're going to hit connect. And then we're going to make a purchase. Okay, let's just make sure everything is connected and our server is getting hits. So we're just going to wait. Okay, we see a page view, right? And we know on this page view or any of these, our GAds tag is not firing, right? Because it's not one of the events it needs to fire on. So now we're going to hop into here. We're going to go add. I'm going to go view. And we're just going to proceed to a purchase. As soon as this cart loads, proceed to checkout. And I believe it has all, yeah, it has all my information. I'm just going to change this to like T3, just to kind of keep track of all the tests we're doing, right? And all the times we're going through, and place order. Okay, so now what we're waiting for is to see that purchase show up in our server. Let's just make sure it, goes through and make sure we see it in our browser. So we see a purchase right here. Scrolling down, scrolling down, scrolling down right here. So we got that purchase. We got that GA4 purchase that made its way to our server. Looking for it here. So we see our Google Ads conversion tracking fired for that label, succeeded. And what you want to do is to see if it went through. You're going to see 2 outgoing requests. If the G-Click ID wasn't there, you would see this, okay? But because we had the G-Click ID, it knows it has to send a request. And this contains all the good information, right? This contains all that information that Google Ads needs. Now, the one thing you'll notice, I'm actually going to search for it because I have a hard time looking for this, is look for something like EM, okay? Because I'm going to close this off and go into the event data object. Okay, so in this data object, there was user data, right? Well, Google Ads sees that in the events data object. The tag sees that, and it includes it. So if I go back in here and back in here and back in here, well, you'll notice when I search for EM, you'll see a hashed value of the email I submitted. If I look for PN, you'll see the phone number. If I look for FN, I think FN's first name. And if I look for LN, the last name. So automatically, if the event data object contains user data, it will be sent over to Google Ads when you configure that tag. Alrighty, so what was your one thing? Was it that you had to pause your Google Ads tags in Web GTM and then only have them in the server? I have to say, that was something new for me when I was setting up GTM server side. If you found the content helpful today and want to stay tuned for our coming content in the coming weeks, hit the subscribe button now. We got some great stuff coming for you. Now, as always, we want to remember our measurement marketing framework that helps you go from marketing in the blind to marketing where you reliably grow revenue and profit. When it comes to server side, you'll be setting that up in the build, and you want to make sure you have a plan on how you're going to set it up before you go dive into server side. Now, if you want to learn more about the Academy and get access to some of our free tools in our toolbox, and jump on and join the Academy where you can ask instructors like myself and Julie live questions, you're going to want to go to measure.tips/getacademy. There you can learn more about the Academy, about Ask Instructor support, and how you can work with one of our instructors directly when you hit a block. So there you have it. That was setting up Google Ads conversion tracking in GTM server side.